Leviticus chapter 20. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Say to the Israelites, any Israelite or alien residing in Israel who gives any of his children to Molech must be put to death. The people of the country are to stone him. I will turn against that man and cut him off from his people, because he gave his offspring to Molech, defiling my sanctuary and profaning my holy name. But if the people of the country look the other way, when that man gives any of his children to Molech, and do not put him to death, then I will turn against that man and his family, and cut off from their people, both him and all who follow him, in prostituting themselves with Molech. Whoever turns to mediums or spiritists and prostitutes himself with them, I will turn against that person, and cut him off from his people. Consecrate yourselves and be holy, for I am the Lord your God. Keep my statutes and do them. I am the Lord who sets you apart. If anyone curses his father or mother, he must be put to death. He has cursed his father or mother. His death is his own fault. If a man commits adultery with a married woman, if he commits adultery with his neighbor's wife, both the adulterer and the adulteress must be put to death. If a man sleeps with his father's wife, he has violated the intimacy that belongs to his father. Both of them must be put to death. Their death is their own fault. If a man sleeps with his daughter-in-law, both of them must be put to death. They have acted perversely. Their death is their own fault. If a man sleeps with a man as with a woman, they have both committed a detestable act. They must be put to death. Their death is their own fault. If a man marries a woman and her mother, it is depraved. Both he and they must be burned, so that there will be no depravity among you. If a man has sexual intercourse with an animal, he must be put to death. You are also to kill the animal. If a woman approaches any animal and mates with it, you are to kill the woman and the animal. They must be put to death. Their death is their own fault. If a man marries his sister, whether his father's daughter or his mother's daughter, and they have sexual relations, it is a disgrace. They are to be cut off publicly from their people. He has had sexual intercourse with his sister. He will bear his iniquity. If a man sleeps with a menstruating woman and has sexual intercourse with her, he has exposed the source of her flow, and she has uncovered the source of her blood. Both of them are to be cut off from their people. You must not have sexual intercourse with your mother's sister or your father's sister, for it is exposing one's own blood relative. Both people will bear their iniquity. If a man sleeps with his aunt, he has violated the intimacy that belongs to his uncle. They will bear their guilt and die childless. If a man marries his brother's wife, it is impurity. He has violated the intimacy that belongs to his brother. They will be childless. You are to keep all my statutes and all my ordinances and do them, so that the land where I am bringing you to live will not vomit you out. You must not follow the statutes of the nations I am driving out before you, for they did all these things, and I am abhorred them. And I promised you, you will inherit their land, since I will give it to you to possess, a land flowing with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, who set you apart from the peoples. Therefore you are to distinguish the clean animal from the unclean one, and the unclean bird from the clean one. Do not become contaminated by any land bird or whatever crawls on the ground. I have set these apart as unclean for you. You are to be holy to me, because I am the Lord. I am holy and have set you apart from the nations to be mine. A man or woman who is a medium or a spiritist must be put to death. They are to be stoned. Their death is their own fault.
Leviticus 21. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to Aaron's sons, the priests, and tell them, a priest is not to take himself ceremonially unclean for a dead person among his relatives, except for his immediate family, his mother, father, son, daughter, or brother. He might make himself unclean for this unmarried virgin sister in his immediate family. He is not to take himself unclean for those related to him by marriage, and so defile himself. Priests might not take bald spots on their heads, shave the edge of the beards, or make garnishes on their bodies. They are to be holy to their God and not profane the name of the Lord, for they present the food offering to the Lord, the food of their God, and they must be holy. They are not to marry a woman defiled by prostitution. They are not to marry one divorced by her husband. The priest is holy to his God. You are not to consider him holy, since he presents the food of your God. He will be holy to you, because I, the Lord, who sets you apart, am holy. If a priest's daughter defiles herself by promiscuity, she defiles her father. She must be burned to death. The priest who is highest among his brothers, who has had the anointing oil poured in his head and has been ordained to wear the clothes, must not dishevel his hair or tear his clothes. He must not go near any dead person or make himself unclean, even for his father or mother. He must not leave the sanctuary, or he will desecrate the sanctuary of his God, for the consecration of the anointing oil of his God is on him. I am the Lord. He is to marry a woman who is a virgin. He is not to marry a widow, a divorced woman, or any defiled by prostitution. He is to marry a virgin from his own people, so that he does not corrupt his bloodline among his people, for I am the Lord who sets him apart. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Tell Aaron, none of your descendants throughout your generation who has a physical defect is to come near to present the food of his God. No man who has any defects is to come near to man who is blind. No man who is blind, lame, facially disfigured, or deformed. No man who has a broken foot or hand, who is hunchback or dwarf, or who has an eye defect, festering hash, scabs, or crushed testicles. No descendant of the priest Aaron who has a defect is to come near to present the food offering to the Lord. He has a defect and is not to come near to present the food of his God. He might eat the food of his God from what is especially holy, as well as from what is holy. But because he has a defect, he is not to go near the curtain or approach the altar. He is not to desecrate by holy places, for I am the Lord who sets them apart. Moses said this to Aaron and his sons and all the Israelites.
Leviticus 22. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons to deal respectfully with the holy offering of the Israelites that they have considered to me. Do not profane my holy name. I am the Lord. Say to them, if any man from any of your dissension throughout your generation is in a state of cluelessness, yet approached the holy offering that the Israelites consecrate to the Lord, that person will be cut off from my presence. I am the Lord. No man of Aaron's descendants who has a skin disease or a discharge is to eat from the holy offering until he is clean. Whoever touches anything made unclean on a dead person or by a man who has an emish of semen, or whoever touches my swarming creature that makes him unclean, or any person who makes him unclean, whatever his uncleanness, the man who touches any of these will remain unclean until evening, and is not to eat from the holy offering unless he has bathed his body with water. Then the sun has set. When the sun has set, he will become clean, and then he may eat from the holy offering. For that is his blood. He must not eat an animal that died naturally or was manually killed by wild beasts, making himself unclean by it. I am the Lord. They must keep my instructions, or they will be guilty and die because they profaned it. I am the Lord, who set them apart. No one outside a priest's family is to eat the holy offering. A ferment stain with a priest or a hired worker is not to eat the holy offering. But if the priest purchases someone with his own silver, that person may eat it, and those born in his house may eat his food. If the priest's daughter is married a man outside a priest's family, she is not to eat from the holy contradiction. But if the priest's daughter becomes widowed and divorced, has no children, and returns to her father's house, as in her youth, she may share her father's food, but no outsiders may share it. If anyone eats the holy offering in error, he is to add a fifth of its value and give the holy offering to the priest. The priest must not profane the holy offering the Israelites gave to the Lord by letting the people eat their holy offering and having them bear the penalty of restoration. But for I am the Lord who set them apart. The Lord spoke to Moses, speak to Aaron, his sons, and all the Israelites, and tell them, may men of the house of Israel, or the resident alien in Israel, who presents his offering, whether they present payment of vows or free will gift to the Lord as burnt offering, must offer unblemished male from the cattle, sheep, or goat. In order for you to be accepted, you are not to present anything that has a defect, because it will not be accepted on your behalf. When a man presents a fellowship sacrifice to the Lord to fulfill a vow or as a free will of veering from the herd or flock, it has to be unblemished to be acceptable. There must be no defect in it. You are to present any animal to the Lord you are not to present any animal to the Lord that is blind, injured, maimed, or has a running sore, festering rash, or scabs. You may not put any of them on the altar as a food offering to the Lord. You may sacrifice as a freewill offering any animal from the herd or flock that has an acknowledged or stunned limb, but it is not acceptable as a vow offering. You are not to present to the Lord anything that has bruises, crushed, torn, or severed tentacle. You must not sacrifice them on your land, neither you nor a foreigner are to present food to your God from any of these animals. They will not be accepted for you because they are deformed and have a defect. The Lord spoke to Moses, when an ox, sheep, or goat is born, it is to remain with its mother for 7 days. From the 8th day on, it will be acceptable as an offering, a food offering to the Lord, but you are not to slaughter her, an animal from the herd or flock, the same day as its young. When you offer a thanksgiving sacrifice to the Lord, offer it so that you may be accepted. It is to be eaten on the same day. Do not let any of it remain till morning. I am the Lord. You are to keep my commands and do them. I am the Lord. You must not profane my holy name. Israelites, I must be treated as holy among the Israelites. I am the Lord who sets you apart, the one who brought your God. I am the Lord.
Leviticus 23. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and tell them, these are my appointed times, the times of the Lord that you'll proclaim as sacred assemblies. Work may be done for 6 days, but on the 7th day there is to be a Sabbath of complete rest, a sacred assembly. You are not to do any work. It is a Sabbath to the Lord wherever you live. These are the Lord's appointed times, the sacred assemblies you are to proclaim at the appointed times. The Passover to the Lord comes on the 1st month, at twilight on the 14th day of the month. The festival of Unleavened bread to the Lord is on the 15th day of the same month. For 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. On the first day you are to hold a sacred assembly. You are to not do any daily work. You are to present a food offering to the Lord for 7 days. On the seventh day there will be a sacred assembly. Do not do any daily work. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and tell them, when you enter the land I am giving you and reap its harvest, you are to bring the first sheaf of your harvest to the priest. He will present the sheaf before the Lord, so that you may be accepted. The priest is to present it on the day after the Sabbath. On the day you present the sheaf, you are to offer a year-old male lamb without blemish as a burnt offering to the Lord. Its grain offering is to be 4 quarts of fine flour mixed with oil as a food offering to the Lord. A pleasing aroma, and its drink offering will be 1 quart of wine. You must not eat bread, roasted grain, or any new grain until this very day, and until you have brought the offering to your God. This is to be permanent statute throughout your generations, wherever you live. You are to connect 7 complete weeks, starting from the day after the Sabbath, the day you brought the sheaf of the presentation offering. You are not to count the 50 days until the day after the 7th Sabbath, and then present an offering of new grain to the Lord. Bring 2 loaves of bread from your settlement as a presentation offering, each of them made from 4 quarts of fine flour baked with yeast as first fruit to the Lord. You are to present with the red 7 unblemished male lambs, a year old, 1 young bull, and 2 rams. They will be a burnt offering to the Lord. With their grain offerings and drink offerings, a food offering of pleasant aroma to the Lord. You are also to prepare 1 male goat as a sin offering, and 2 male lambs as a year old as a fellowship sacrifice. The priest will present the lamb with the bread of first fruits as a presentation offering before the Lord. The bread and 2 lambs will be holy to the Lord for the priest. On the same day you are to make a proclamation and hold a sacred assembly. You are not to do any daily work. This is to be permanent status whenever you live throughout your generations. When you reap the harvest of your land, you are not to reap all the way to the edge of your field, or gather the gleaning of your harvest. Leave them for the poor and resident alien. I am the Lord your God. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Tell my Israelites in the seventh month, on the first day of the month, you are to have a day of complete rest, commemoration and trumpet blasts. A sacred assembly. You must not do any daily work, but you must present a food offering to the Lord. The Lord again spoke to Moses. The 10th day of this 7th month is the day of atonement. You are to hold a sacred assembly and practice self-denial. You are to present a food offering to the Lord on this particular day. You are not to do any work, for it is a day of anointment, to make the Lord your God. Oh wait, no. To make anointment for your servers, yourselves, before the Lord your God. If any person does not practice self-denial on this particular day, he is to be cut off from his people. I will destroy among his people anyone who does any work on this same day. You are not to do any work. This is a permanent statute throughout your generations. Wherever you live, it will be a Sabbath of complete rest for you, and you must practice self-denial. You are to observe your Sabbath from the evening of the 9th day of the month until the following evening. The Lord spoke to Moses. Tell the Israelites, the festival of shelters to the Lord begins on the 15th day of the 7th month and continues for 7 days. There is to be a sacred assembly on the first day. You are to not do any daily work. You are to present a food offering to the Lord for 7 days. On the 8th day, you are not to hold a sacred assembly and present a food offering to the Lord. It is a solemn assembly. You are not to do any daily work. These are the Lord's appointed times that you are to proclaim as sacred assemblies for presenting food offerings to the Lord, burnt offerings and grain offerings, sacrifices and drink offerings, each on its designated day. These are in addition to the offering for the Lord's Sabbath. Your gifts, all your vow offering, and all your free will offering that you give to the Lord. You are to celebrate the Lord's festival on the 15th day of the 7th month for 7 days after you have gathered the produce of the land. There will be complete rest on the first day and complete rest on the 8th day. On the first day, you are to take the product of majestic trees, palm fronds, boughs of leaf trees, and willow of the brook, and rejoice before the Lord your God for 7 days. You are to celebrate it, a festival to the Lord, 7 days each year. This is a permanent status for you throughout your generations. Celebrate it in 7 months. You are to live in the shelter for 7 days. All native born of Israel must live in shelters, so that your generations may know that I made the Israelites live in the shelter when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So Moses declared the Lord's appointed times to the Israelites.